everyone. My name is Adriana Smallwood. I'm a registered dietitian. I apologize in advance. We have Frozen going on in the background and my 2-year-old trying to be distracted, so you might hear him. So I'm just gonna go through some like healthy eating type stuff, or I can do like a Q&A. Oh, he's gonna sit next to me. Looks like it, but or I can do a Q&A. We talked about doing just general like healthy eating, maybe some focus on plant-based eating, but I also do some baby led weaning, and I know there's some moms in the group, so if there's any questions related to that too, the sky is really the limit. I don't mind at all. Here he is. So I know that a lot of people are trying to aim for more plant-based eating. So I believe that Leslie told me that there are some maybe vegan, vegetarian people in the group. So I really wanted to focus first on talking about different ways to make sure that your diet is kind of whole. Because I find that a lot of the people that I talk to who are on a vegetarian or vegan diet seek me out because they have low protein or low iron. So it's really focusing on those type of things. So I want to focus mainly, we'll say, on the iron first because that is your energy vitamin. Hi! I want to focus basically on your iron because that would be the biggest one, and a lot of people don't realize that there are some things that stop the absorption of iron. One would be caffeine. So if you're having tea, coffee, even chocolate, copious amounts of chocolate. Hi Sonia, hi Leslie. This can stop the absorption of iron. And I usually recommend waiting about an hour before, an hour after consuming consuming something with iron to consume caffeine. So for example, if you're gonna have like something with iron for breakfast, then you would wait until an hour after to have your coffee. I wouldn't really recommend having coffee with your meal, for example. And then the other thing that stops the absorption of iron, there's really two things, is calcium and soy. So if you're gonna have, say, like soy milk, there's calcium and soy in that, and that would also stop the absorption of iron. So that would really just be if you're consuming like beans or nuts, because if you're consuming tofu, it's soy anyhow. So that isn't really a thing. But if you're eating beans and peas and lentils and nuts on a regular basis, and that is your main source of protein, you want to be able to get all the iron that you can out of there. Make sure you're not consuming caffeine or something with calcium or soy when you're consuming your main iron. The other thing is protein, like making sure you're having like the appropriate portion sizes. So about 3/4 cup of tofu or beans or peas or lentils are equal to a serving of protein. About 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup of nuts or seeds. And what would be the other thing? A cup of soy milk or almond milk or something like that. Leslie, I don't know is that a question? So if there's any questions about that, feel free to ask. The other big thing too is, I guess your B vitamins, especially B12, would be something that's only in animal products. And it's not hard to get. You can take a B supplement, or if you're taking a multivitamin, it's usually in there. But your B vitamins are essential because they're your energy vitamins. So what that means is they're like the car. They bring your food to the rest of your body so that you can utilize that. So if you're not getting enough B vitamins, it's usually hand in hand with low iron. You feel really tired. You might not be able to control your weight. So you might be losing weight or gaining weight because your body can't use that. Our brain spray has amazing B vitamins. Awesome. There's lots of different products on the market now that have B vitamins in there. Thank you, Gail, because so many people are going plant-based. It's really there. Just make sure that if you're taking a supplement, it's in a lot of protein powders too. I know Vega has your total daily amount of B vitamins there. So if you're making like a protein shake and you use like a vegan or a vegetarian protein supplement, then it's usually in there too. Oh, you have some people who hunt and raise chickens. Yeah, and eggs are a great source of B vitamins too. So If you're a vegetarian and you're a lacto-ovo vegetarian, you're still consuming, say, cheese and eggs, then you're probably getting like a good source of B anyways. But for people who aren't consuming any animal products whatsoever, it is not beneficial. It is detrimental that you have a supplement that contains iron and B vitamins. I hear lots of dishes in the background. He's playing with the dishes there. Other than that, for, you know, the protein and the iron, those would be the two main things. Usually people don't consume enough vegetables. So if you're someone who isn't, you're in this group and you're not usually a vegetarian or vegan, you're omnivore. Three big things that I like to focus on is fiber. So, you know, if you're not consuming enough vegetables and fruits and whole grain products, the big two things that I love to get are flax and chia seeds. And you can add those things to anything. And they're really high in omega-3 fats, which are your heart healthy fats. And they're really high in fiber. So the reason fiber is so good for you is because it's not only, it helps, it's not only for weight loss. A lot of people think of it that way. But it's really good for controlling your blood sugar. So it keeps your body, you know, your food digesting longer. So if you were to eat something that's really low in fiber and low in protein, you would get a sugar high really quick, and then you would find that you get really tired after. So I find that, yeah, chia is awesome. Thank you, Leslie. I find that people who tend to have like that 3 p.m. wall, they're usually not having enough fiber or protein with their lunch. So I usually recommend, you know, throwing in some nuts or seeds and chia. You can throw that into your yogurt, oatmeal, cereal. It's very multi-purpose. For anybody, I usually do presentation stuff because it puts the information right in front of you. So for anybody who isn't watching this or you're watching this after, I can absolutely give Leslie some handouts, either to post in the group or to email out. You can leave your email as a link underneath the video and I can send it to you personally. You can DM me. It doesn't really matter, whatever you prefer. I can give you the information in written form so you don't have to keep track and just listen away. So back to the chia and the flax. So I find that for baking, for example, if I make my own baked goods all the time because it's so much lower in fat and sugar, flax is a grain, so you can replace flour for that. So what I'll do is if a muffin recipe calls for like 2 cups, say hi, 2 cups of flour, you can easily take out a half a cup of that 2 cups and put in a half a cup of flax instead. That bumps up the, you can say hi. That bumps up the fiber content and decreases the carb content of the baked product. Yeah, mommy's gonna talk, baby. She's talking to people. Can you say hi? Okay, go turn off the water, please. Sorry about that. It bumps up the fiber content of your meal, and like I said, it keeps you full longer. It's really good for your blood sugar, for your cholesterol. So if you have high cholesterol, wow, omega-3 fats they can decrease plaques. So if you have a blockage in your arteries,
I bring my fingers with water.
Okay, let's go turn it off. If you have high cholesterol or if you have a blockage, eating a lot of omega-3 fats. So if, you know, what's in flax, chia seed, salmon, and other types of fatty fish can decrease your cholesterol. It can decrease your blockages. That's also what's in fruits and vegetables. So
I want to say hi.
You want to say hi? Do you want to sit up with mommy? Say hi.
Hi.
Fruits and vegetables have a lot of fiber too, and most Newfoundlanders.
I want to say hi.
Thank you, Sadia. That makes me feel better.
Say hi.
You say hi one more time, okay?
Hi.
I find that, well, Newfoundlanders historically, we have the lowest fruit and vegetable intake in Newfoundland. So a lot of people that I talk to don't consume enough fruits and vegetables. So making sure you're having one or both with every meal definitely helps. frozen fruits and vegetables are probably a staple in this house. They're really good for baking, for using smoothies.
Hi.
You said hi. One more time.
Hi.
I know they get really mushy, but you know, veggies can be really good. Frozen veggies, you can roast them right from frozen. They have a really good texture, and you can use them in stir fries. And I find it's, especially in the winter time,
Hi.
it's the healthiest way to get fruits and veggies.
Hi.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Frozen's on. Go watch Frozen.
No.
I'm gonna have to get him a treat.
What is it?
So that's the best way to get fruits and veggies. You can grow your own, but making sure you get them with every single meal, which for some people, especially in this group, if you're focusing on your health already, then that might be something you're already getting. But I find fiber and fruits and veggies are the two biggest things. The last thing is fluids. So, you know, making sure, especially if you're increasing your fiber intake, that you're getting lots of water. Because if you're not drinking enough water, you're not going to flush all that stuff through, and it helps your metabolism better. If you have a lot of fiber and not enough fluid, then you're going to find you might get constipated a lot, because fiber absorbs water as it's going through your body, and that's how it moves. So if you're not having enough water, it's not going to really move through there. So those are the three big things I find. I don't know about Supermom. I just gave him a cookie to keep him occupied, Leslie. So, you know, those would be the things that I tend to focus on. And getting your 3 meals a day, which, you know, I know, again, that might be a given for some people, but a lot of us are busy. You know, we live busy lifestyles, and skipping lunch, usually a big one. Meal prep is also a big one. So if you have little ones like this, they like to help in the kitchen. So if you're really, really busy.
I say hi.
You did say hi. Okay, go eat your cookie and watch Frozen, buddy. If you find that your lifestyle's really busy, especially when stuff starts up again, I know everything's halted right now, but kids are in a lot of activities and work is really busy. You know, so taking a minute, whether it's like an hour on a Tuesday night or a Sunday afternoon, and prepping all of your things. Thank you. I skip lunch sometimes, but I always make sure that I have it later. Sonia, I know it's really hard. So, you know, what I try to do is set myself up for success. So in my fridge and in my cupboard, I have a crisper that's just a snack crisper. There's a shelf in my cupboard that's just a snack space. So I get out my 1/4 cup measure and my Biggies, and I make my own trail mix. I'll put that in the cupboard, cut up my veggies and my fruits, some cheese, and then I have cheese and crackers and fruits and veggies for snacking. I'll put hummus in the little tiny containers. You know, I have a snack space in both areas. That makes it so much easier, because then you have your own pre-packaged foods, we'll say, but you know they're healthier. You've prepared them. You know, it's just so much easier, because when we open up the fridge, we're not going to eat carrot sticks, and we're not going to eat like grapes or anything like that if we've got to clean it, if we've got to prepare it. But if it's already done there, then it makes it 10 times easier. You're more likely to eat healthy. Rather than grabbing some crackers or something that's super easy to open, but not necessarily some fruit or something that's hard to prepare.
Hi. Hi.
You show your cookie? So that would be, this oatmeal cookie that he's mowing down on would be an example of one of those recipes that I tweaked. Super high in flax. There's lots of fiber in that. And the chocolate chips are the low sugar, gluten-free, dairy-free kind. You know, and he loves it. He doesn't even know what sugar really tastes like. And I find that we scaled back, so I hardly ever use real sugar in anything ever. I always put fruits into my baking, to like bananas, carrots, apples, anything sweet, and that usually gives it like a natural sugar. Thank you, Sonia. He's usually pretty good occupied. I don't know why he's running around here. He's really excited about the video chat. This is the first time I've done it with him here. I made it through COVID without having to use Zoom with him in the in the room. But yeah, so like fruits and veggies. The other thing I love, especially this time of year, is when you make a smoothie, I like using lots of spinach. So I'll put spinach, frozen fruit, plain Greek yogurt, and chia seeds, and I'll freeze it and make ice creams. And then you get a cool treat on a hot day, but you're also getting tons of veggies, tons of fruit, and tons of fiber, and not much sugar. So, and to me, it tastes like a treat. So it almost feels like I'm, rewarding myself. Meal planning is everybody, Sonia. So, Sonia said she's going to be meal planning. It's going to be something that she works on, and it saves your life. I'll tell you, on a Sunday afternoon. Now, I am only partially plant-based, so I still do eat some meat. I don't eat red meat, but I tend to focus on fish and eggs. Or chicken. So I'll cook a chicken on Sunday, and while that's cooking, I'll cut up veggies, and on the stove top, I'll make a vegetarian chili. And then I'll boil some eggs to go along with it. So I've basically prepared about 10 meals because the chili is going to be frozen for another day, plus the day that I'm going to eat it. The chicken's usually used for 3 meals, and then the eggs are probably 3 breakfasts. So on Sunday, I'm preparing about 10 suppers. And then this little guy helps me organize by using the 1/4 cup measure. He loves helping me in the kitchen. He'll pour the nuts in for me and the carrots. So these guys really are little helpers, and he's not a picky eater at all. And I find that
hi.
You said hi.
Please.
I find that if you let them in the kitchen and they help you, they might make a little mess. But okay, we're gonna have to take off your helmet. But it makes them less picky.
Hi.
And it means you're more likely to eat something healthy. Hey.
Hi.
I'm really sorry. But I'm probably, because he's so crazy, I'm going to leave it to questions for now. I've been good prepping for, Nicole says, I've been so good prepping one week, then not the next. I love all your ideas. Thank you, Nicole. It says there's only 4 people on. Does anybody else have questions there? You sit right there, bud. What I'll say is, if it's okay with Leslie and everybody else, it's Friday, it's the weekend. So for the whole weekend, for the next 48 hours, I'll be checking back on this feed to see if there's any questions underneath, because there's only 3 people on. And so if you have any questions or anything related to anything nutrition, it doesn't have to be plant-based eating. It could be pediatric nutrition or any picky eating questions or recipes. If you want, you can go to my website at newfoundbalance.com. I've got lots of blogs there that focus on specific nutrient stuff, plus recipes. And what else is on there? There's lots of resources. So if you want to look at certain websites, you want to know like where to go, there's lots of resource hints there. Other than that, I'm going to keep it short because I hoped that I would be able to chat a little bit more, but he needs attention. So like I said,
Hi.
he's excited to see his mommy after all day, is right, Leslie? So if, like I said, for the next 48 hours, for everyone who's going to watch this, I'm sure that the recording is going to be put up. I will check all the comments and answer any questions, or if you don't want to ask a question on here, you can personally message me. I love questions. It's how I learn. So if I don't know the answer, I will find out. Sonia, we're going to do a Zoom next week together on meal prepping. That's perfect. We will check out our guide. Well, if you want, I can join the Zoom for meal prep too. Maybe I can chime in, or I can learn something new too. This guy will not be there, I promise. So thank you so much for putting up with us today. And hopefully I will get to chat with some of you guys later. Thank you so much, Sonia. It was a pleasure. And I hope I've been pronouncing your name right. Say bye. Bye. Thank you.
Thank